Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of the Blackbird Grimoire. Welcome to the Havamal. Today we are looking at verse 145, and we'll begin with a translation from Olive Bray. It reads, "Those songs I know, which nor sons of men nor queen in a king's court knows. The first is help, which will bring thee help in all woes and sorrow and strife." The second translation is from W.H. Auden and P.B. Taylor. It reads, "The first charm I know is unknown to rulers or any of humankind. Help it is named, for help it can give in hours of sorrow and anguish." And the final translation from Vikinger.org: "Those songs I know which the king's wife knows not, nor son of man. Help the first is called, for that will help thee against strifes and cares." Charms for aid, that's what we're talking about here. The charm is also described as a song. Both charms and songs are common features in a wide variety of magical practices and traditions throughout the world and throughout different time periods. And as one studies magic, one soon realizes how much of it really is just a question of methodology, and there's a variety of ways to accomplish a particular purpose. And the charm in this verse is meant to shield a person from all harm. In other words, it is describing protection work from woe, misfortune, from strife, from sorrow. And this kind of work is, really the bread and butter for your average witch, even in modern times. No matter who we are or when or where we live, we are striving to minimize our difficulties to more manageable levels. And charms of this kind are intended to aid that process. So use magical ability. Magic is a natural energy or a force that exists in the universe. Some people are more naturally tuned into it, some can learn how to be, and some lack the ability to consciously wield it. And this makes it no different than any other kind of talent. We have prodigies, we have some people who have a modest amount of ability, and then there are others who will never excel with it no matter how much training they received or how much instruction they took in. But those who can shoulder a responsibility as well as an opportunity. There's no point in gaining all of this knowledge and skills if not to make use of them. We don't get it, shine it every so often like a trophy on a shelf, and, mostly are concerned that it doesn't get dusty. That's not what it's for. It's not for showing off. It's not for saying, oh, I know how to do this. The usage that was mentioned in the verse was centered on providing protection and comfort, and that seems significant. It also feels like a nudge that using magic should first and foremost be about preventing and mending harm. So much for the people who accuse us of having an intention to do awful, dreadful things with malice as a matter of course, as well as the people who are within the craft but don't really get it and who think that they really have their street cred by talking about how they'll totally hex a bitch. Clearly, in the Havamal and things that are implied in certain stanzas of Celtic triads, and of course a lot of the philosophy from the Greeks and the Romans. I mean, that's not really what this is, not really what it should be. And the people who are either prejudiced against us and assume that we're using it for ill intention, or the people who are so spiritually immature and probably have psychological problems, who see it as a club to try to get their own way. That really is a terrible reflection upon them. That's twisting things. That's going a bad route with it, and it's just something to bear in mind. But that's what my thoughts regarding this verse took me. I'd be interested to hear how your own personal contemplations, how you've reacted to this particular verse, because you're probably looking at it from a different vantage point that I am as a witch. So I would love to hear your perspective. But that'll do it for now. And of course, come back next week. We will be looking at verses 146 and 147. So do come back for that. But bye for now.